Hello, Jackie Edwards here. Welcome to the Women Power Wealth Show. I am super excited to be creating and bringing this show to the world. I believe this is where we need to be looking and focusing right now, is how to harness our wealth and our power to really create change and make a difference in the world. Now, our first official episode will go live on the 1st of July, and episodes will drop every Wednesday thereafter. But in this episode, I really want to share with you kind of what our mission is and what that definition of wealth and power is that I want to be bringing to the world and making sure that we're sharing. Because I know that wealth and power can be very triggering words. And I believe that's because the paradigm that we're living in right now is a very masculine version of power and has a very masculine definition of wealth, where it's more of a power over. So when I have more power, it means somebody else has less power. It's very dominating. And it was built that way over centuries in our kind of Western patriarchal society, so that when people kind of gained power and they gained wealth, and they gained the land in that feudal society, they had to kind of hold that power by making sure others stayed in their place and had that place as kind of serfs and farmers to kind of till the land and do the work. And it just made it so the more power the kind of rich and the elite had, the less power the poor had. So it was very finite, like pieces of a cake. So if I have more of the cake, there's less of it to share. And that is the paradigm that we've been living under for centuries. And I believe that we've lost the more feminine version of power along the way, which is more of a collective. So it's a power to and a power with and almost a power within ourselves. So when we have more power under the feminine definition of power, it doesn't take away from anybody else. When I have more power, it actually means you have more power. When you have more power, the world has more power. Because it's a power for sharing and creating. It's a power within to build ourselves and grow ourselves. And then that power to kind of grow a collective idea, to share amongst ourselves. So as we grow in our feminine power, the whole world grows in power. And we can share that together. And that is where I believe we need to be going if we want to kind of start to heal the wounds that we've been creating in this world. We need to start to focus on that feminine power. And that also flows over into our wealth. Because again, that masculine form of wealth is that there's a finite amount of it. That if I have more wealth, it means somebody else has less of it. And that is so strong in the way that we see everything, whether it's in our business and we feel guilty and bad about making sales and taking money from other people for selling our products or our services. Or it's a way that we look at our money and we feel guilty. We feel like we shouldn't have that much. We feel greedy and selfish for having money. And that's because for so long we've been taught that money is bad, money is the root of all evil, money is dirty. And we've been trained to really talk about and think about money as how it doesn't help us and move us forward and how it takes away instead of how it gives back. And that's the same with the power. That masculine power is taking away from others to serve it for ourselves. Whereas with the feminine, and the same with money, the more money we have, the more value we can create and the more value we can add to the world and the more we can do with the world as a collective. So when we make more money, it doesn't mean that we've taken it from somebody else. It means we've added more value out there to the world. So really, we've added more wealth to the world. So the more money I make, the more wealth and value is created out there and the more wealth somebody else can make and value. And it just grows and it grows and it grows. And that's what I want to share deep down at the bottom in this show, is that we can work together and we can move towards this stronger version of power and wealth. And we can grow as a society and a collective to be able to start to change the world and really create that movement. Because right now, it's not okay to talk about money. because you're seen as greedy or selfish or bragging if you talk about how much money you have. But it is okay for some reason to talk about how much money you don't have. So it's okay to say, oh, I don't have enough money for that. And we can commiserate with each other on, how hard things are and how we don't have enough money for the things that we want to do. But it's not okay on the flip side to then say, oh, it's great, I've got enough money to take this amazing holiday. Or it's really great, I've got enough money to afford to buy a bigger house or drive a nicer car. It's not okay to talk about those things. We start to feel like we don't deserve it, that we're greedy, that we're selfish. And that's what I want to start to flip, because as we feel those feelings of defeat and those feelings of not deserving, it means that we're not stepping into our full power. We're not harnessing that power and our wealth to really grow into who we are and to really accept ourselves so that we can make that difference. We can be that role model, that inspiration for the world, that we can go out there to our full capacity and create more value and really change the world and change ourselves and make sure that we are secure and that we are safe, and then share that safety and security with the world. Because that is what I believe that the feminine form of power does. It brings out that safety, that security, and that power to share with the world, not just among a small elite group of people. That the more people that we can empower and that we can harness this energy with, the more that the world itself will grow. So that's what I'm going to share, and I'm going to do that by interviewing amazing thought leaders right now. It will be women that are kind of on the forefront of money, on the forefront of power and investing and thought work, and just seeing where we're going and where we're at. It'll be women that are investing. It will be women that have created millions in their business. It will be women that are just breaking ground in new movements. So we will be interviewing and talking to all of them to start to really grow our minds and open ourselves to the possibilities that are out there. I'll also be sharing with you some of the basic tenets that I feel very strongly about that can help you to understand maybe some of the battles that are going on within you between whether money is good or bad and power is good and bad, so that you can start to identify some of the thoughts and feelings that are coming up that might be holding you back from becoming the truest, most authentic version of yourself, so that you can really move forward and we can create this movement together. And once we start to do that, instead of just being a single small person making a change, we become a community and a movement that can make an even bigger change all together. So again, please make sure you subscribe to be notified every Wednesday when we release a new episode, and make sure you tune in on the 1st of July when our very first episodes will go live. I can't wait to see you then, and I can't wait to grow together.